The 1420 Sports Podcast, for Beer Sports talking a whole lot more, brought to you by Manscaped and manscaped.com. Dave, show 210 on June the 16th, 2022. The weather is here. I wish you were beautiful. Jimmy Buffett has said me time and time again in his great hit there. Man, that Yankees team is rolling. The big walk-off. Rizzo hit the home run, bottom of the ninth. They've won 7 or 8 in a row. Can't even count how it's going now. Big weekend series with the Jays. Dave, we talked about it off air a little bit, but that series, division might be wrapped up by the time this weekend's over. If the Yankees can sweep 3, they'll have a 13-game lead on the Jays. And all those predictions and all those prognosticators when the season first started back in April 1, they might be really wrong, because this Yankees team seems like a wagon that ain't stopping, and the Jays can't pitch. We didn't mean to get into this very this much in depth when the show started, but man, oh man, was I happy with that home run was hit by Rizzo tonight. That Yankee team, they're rolling, and I think something special is brewing in the Bronx.
To quote Mr. Wolf, let's not start sucking each other's dicks quite yet. All right? It's not even fucking July, and you're now putting a pennant in their fucking rafters. They'll be, mark my fucking words, there's going to be a time in August was like, oh, fuck. I wish we wouldn't have been so hot. Like, now they're cold. They're cold. They can't get it out. Cole sucks. This guy sucks. Rizzo, they should have traded him when he was hot. Like, no one likes the fair weather like the NYY fan. So I'm glad you're enjoying it right now. I really am, because I don't care. I don't care. I like to see you in a good mood, and when the Yankees are winning,
it don't hurt.
You're in a good mood. You know what? And it don't matter to me if you're in a bad mood either, because, that makes you a little bit more easy to
we still got to do this anyways, regardless. It doesn't much matter what kind of mood I'm in. It's kind of our job now. It's one of those
But
things.
nonetheless, the Yankees are clearly the cream of the Major League Baseball right now, without a doubt.
That's the funny thing about baseball, Dave. You don't want to be everybody too hot at once or everybody too cold at once, because eventually it's going to change for the worse. One way or another, because you get everybody too hot, before you know it, you get into, like you said, in July and August. My goodness gracious, it could go sideways quick. But a sweep by the Yankees this weekend in Toronto at the old, I still call it Sky Dome, no matter what. I've been to Rogers Arena, Rogers Place, or Rogers Center. So many Rogers things nowadays. It would be a big change. But anyways, Dave, the NHL Stanley Cup Finals got going last night. The Tampa Bay Lightning lost in overtime. Vasilevsky gave it 3 goals in the first period, and it looked like Colorado was going to roll over top of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Game ended up going to overtime. Hell of a hockey game. Colorado fired a lot of shots Vasilevsky's way. Couldn't get it by him after he gave up that early 3. Hell of a game. Crowd was into it. It was fun to watch. It's the way the game could be played, or should be played. 2 takes, Dave, that I have watching that game last night when Colorado won in overtime was, 1, Tampa didn't play all that well, and Colorado still had to get an overtime victory. And 2, I know it's the Stanley Cup playoffs, so the emotions are a little bit bigger than a game is in, say, November or December, but the rest of the league ain't close to those 2 teams.
That's as to your second point first, I agree. Those 2 teams are good, and they showed us why they were good. The speed, just the details. Obviously, it was game 1. Colorado had some rust, and Tampa had to travel. Who knows what, and maybe that's why Vasilevsky wasn't on top of his game to start that game. But it was good, fast hockey. And you know what? Tampa's fast too. Everybody's always saying like how the team speed of Colorado. Tampa has speed as well, and they played probably the most dominant team game from Stamkos and like just everybody, top to bottom. They know their role, they know their jobs, they're responsible, and that's how you not slow down a team. You don't let them use their speed because you're on it and doing your job. You're not giving them any space, and that's That's the only way to combat a team that's faster than you. You can't give them space by being smarter and playing a better structured top to bottom game.
No, 100%. The biggest thing that, like, one of the things that I took away from that, like, one of the only guys that we talked about it on Tuesday night, I believe, was how they were anointing Cale Makar as the next coming of Bobby Orr and everything else. And last night he had a good game, not a great game. He didn't have a shot on goal. Was one of the only guys who didn't get one for Colorado, which is kind of strange that it kind of goes that way. I like anybody who thinks that series is going to be done in 4. I think they're nuts. It could happen. I mean, you could lose 4 overtime games in a row, and it could be over by I guess Monday night. Who knows? But I think that one's going 7, man. The way those two teams were going last night. I was talking about, like, when we were watching the game, me and Deanne last night. This is the kind of series that I didn't have a lot of interest in, but I'm going to watch. If it gets to 2-2, I think you're going to see a lot of people, some hockey people, like, that aren't normally watching. Maybe they're doing some yard work or whatever's going on in the summertime that we're getting into here in Canada. I think you're going to see a lot more even non-hockey people if it gets to a 2-2 situation, because the hockey was good after game 1. We'll see what happens Saturday night. But I think you're going to see a lot of people, if this gets to 2-2, that this is going to be one fucking slobber knocker of a series.
Because it's the first Stanley Cup in 3 years that the level of play is so high. The level of play is so high. Last year, like, Tampa just cakewalked. It was a fucking holiday for them against the Habs. The year before that was the bubble against the Dallas Stars, 2 surprise teams. Now they're up against it with a team that is a big boy. And Colorado, Tampa got there and they did their job. You can't take that away from them. But Colorado had some painful playoff losses the last 2 years, and expectations were high. And they got something to prove here too. And they're a big boy, and they want to win this game. And as to your point in your introduction, that barn was out of control.
Oh, that place was rocking.
They had some serious energy in that barn, and that's great to see too. It's always good to see fans just going ape shit for their team.
No, it was great when that overtime goal was scored, because it was a quick goal. It was only like a minute and a half, 2 minutes in when they scored. Place was rocking. It was great game. I hope the next. I hope it goes the distance, because you start to get behind in other things because you're watching sports all the time. But a few hours, like Saturday night's next game, because Canada they likes their Saturday night hockey instead of having a game on Friday. I hope it goes 7, because if the rest of the series is anything like game 1, we're in for a heck of a series. And I'm still picking Tampa in 7, like I did the other night. But Tampa didn't play great, and they went to overtime. So I think that there's something to say about that.
It really makes you wonder. Obviously, these athletes are as well conditioned as they can be. There has to be an advantage playing at altitude. Gotta be. Like, I don't know if they're just snorting oxygen like crazy in the locker room between periods or whatever.
Yeah.
But like Tampa Bay, like literally sea level to mile high. Like, that's a big difference.
It's got to be a huge advantage for Colorado. It's got to be.
Especially if you go to the third period to overtime and that kind of thing, and laying the hits, like, you're going to become short-winded. You're just, it's not your fault. You're just training at altitude and you're used to it.
Yeah, years ago I was down in Colorado visiting somebody down there, and we went up to Pikes Peak, the highest point in Colorado there, and me, because I wasn't thinking or just whatever, and walked to the top there. And I couldn't fucking breathe, Dave. I said, geez, did I have that many darts last night? Like, too many darts? What was going on? But then I go, okay, yeah, that's just upper elevation, everything else. But even like when you're at Coors Field, that purple row of seat, that's a mile high off the ground. It's different. It's just a different way. So there's definitely a home ice advantage in that 4 games in Denver might be the deciding factor. These guys are fine-tuned athletes, absolutely, 100%. But I think there's something to be said about what's going on there, because that's got to be an advantage, like you said.
finely tuned at altitude is different than finely tuned at sea level, and there's reasons why the U.S. Olympic track team and different Olympic organizations have their training grounds in Colorado and Boulder and that kind of thing. It's because it's altitude training, and that's just science.
Oh, I think that one's going to go 7. That's my thoughts. It could be 4 overtime wins. We could be done, like I said, by Wednesday night next week, and we'll be talking about something different once the hockey season wraps up. But if anything wraps up like they did in Game 1, we're in for a heck of a series.
What's going to happen first? Stanley Cup gets raised, or Yankees lose the game?
Oh, Stanley Cup gets raised.
Well, we're gonna.
There's no doubt in my mind, Dave. That was a dumb question. Like, we said a lot of dumb things in the 2 years of the 1420 podcast, but the Yankees will never lose again. My God,
wow,
I don't know if you were watching tonight, but my gosh, that team's on fire, man.
I shouldn't have given you such a big, fat, juicy one to hit out of the park there.
That one was easy. Yeah, that one was easy. Anyways, the 1420 Sports Podcast is partnered up with Manscaped, the leader in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped sent Dave and I the Performance Package 4.0, and it is the ultimate men's hygiene bundle. 4 million people. That's around 8 million balls. Can't be wrong. Inside the Performance Package, you get the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, the Weed Whacker ear and nose trimmer, Crop Preserver ball deodorant, and Reviver toner. You also get a travel bag and Manscaped boxes as well. The Lawnmower 4.0 features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents. It's waterproof and comes with an LED light to give your more precise shave around your boys. The Weed Whacker nose and ear trimmer uses skin-safe technology and is also waterproof. Along with the Crop Preserver ball deodorant and the Crop Reviver toner, Manscaped will change the way your personal hygiene routine. Fuck, I blow that every time. Man, it's time to change the way you take care of your boys. So go to manscaped.com and get 20% off and free shipping by using promo code 1420SCAPE. That's 1420SCAPE at manscaped.com today. Dave, have you used the nose and ear trimmer?
I've used both electrical devices.
Yes.
Not downstairs. I shave my brows and my brows. I don't shave my. Yeah, I'm walking around with no eyebrows right now. I don't know if you noticed.
That'd be weird. Well, we put this up on YouTube tomorrow. People are like, what the fuck? You lied to us.
No, I use them on my sideburns and my nose. And I'm a fan of this the ball deodorant. It helps the boys. I haven't used the crop duster? The toner. So I'm using the toner right now.
Okay.
I haven't used the duster yet for a little pick-me-up because I don't even really know what that means. And so I want to...
I don't either. I'm scared. I'm a little scared. Maybe I'll try that tomorrow after the baseball game. I'll bring my travel kit to Spit Stadium after the game. I'll put the little toner on the boys after the shower and see how it feels.
Well, that's what I want to use that after an afternoon shower, not the night shower, because I want to be. Yeah, I want to be. I don't want to have to go to bed and have itchy. Well, I'm sure I'm not going to get itchy balls because it's a quality product by a quality name. But I want to be fully alert and really understand what's going on when I need a pick-me-up down there.
Manscaped and manscaped.com. Deanne asked me last night if she didn't understand the whole Manscaped thing, what was going on there. She took out the package. She goes, oh, so it's a razor that women can use too. Yes, absolutely. So it's not just Manscaped. It can be Womanscaped as well. 1420 podcast, Manscaped, 1420 Sports Podcast, 4 Sports Talk, and a whole lot more.
You're getting close, dads and grads.
Dads and grads.
This week.